bloody hell. That print app's kind of good. Anyway, hi all today. God, no reductions. Anyway, hi all. Kenny the Vaping here back again with another review for you. I'm a bit late to the party with this one because when it came out, I wasn't really a fan because I heard too many horror stories about these RDAs in general. But today, I've managed to get my hands on the Wotofo profile. As you can see, this one has got the Ultim top on it. It is made with another reviewer, an American viewer called Vaping with Mrjustright1. He's a big American viewer. You've probably seen more on like live streams now. He's that kind of reviewer. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at this little fella. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, we'll get on the table, have a quick look about, I'll show you the crack with it. I must admit it is my first time ever dealing with one, or wicking one and building one, so you know it's a bit of a learning curve for me as well. But before we get down to that, if you're new to the channel, I'd like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, which would be fantastic. Better again, leave a comment below, I will get back to you. But in the meantime, let's get down, dirty, and have a look at this bad boy, yeah? Right folks, here we are down at the table looking at the profile from Wotofo and Mrjustright1. Typical, hang on a minute, I'm going to cheat here. That's a good start. On the box there you have your warnings. Typical Wotofo, you have Mrjustright1, Wotofo, and then here we've got Ultim. That means I've got the Ultim cap, or the top barrel, top cap, whatever you want to call it. And here you've got Wotofo. On the side of the actual box you've got the scratch and sniff and all that stuff. On the back you do have all the kit and what the contents are and all your little warning CE marks. But this sleeve just kind of slides off and you've kind of got the same thing on the back of this box. You know, you've got the profile, Wotofo with the Ultim mark, what we've just seen. Mr. Vaping, but the difference is the front, you've got a little window where you can see everything is. As you can see, I've got the Ultim cap. Now, when you open it, if you look just here, it says extra 810 drip tip. This kit doesn't have it in. So I'm assuming, let's put this away, it's because we have this fella here, which is, God, now that they put these in tight, is the Ultim drip tip. A lot of people prefer these now because they reckon you just get better flavour, etc. using this. You know, it comes in two parts. But yeah, your barrel with your honeycombed airflow. You've got your airflow slots. With this one, you've got a little slot here, so when you've got it there, you can close off the top row of slots, or with this one here you can obviously close them all off from the side. That's basically a top cap, a little bit tight with the new O-rings as per usual, but you know, that's the top cap. And then again, everything in here is wedged in really tight. This is your deck, got your little spring. This spring bit here is to push the cotton up against the mesh. A lot of people said that this is a little loose, it could be a bit tighter, so we'll see with that one. You see on the deck, if I can just zoom in a bit on it to see what its crack is. I'm gonna see, there you go. And then as you go further down the deck, you've got Wotofo wrote on it, and obviously Mrjustright. This screw here obviously keeps this assembly down. You've got two clamps, one here and one here. These are your screws, which basically just open the clamps up. And there's nothing much to it. On the bottom, well, your usual stuff, your profile, Wotofo. It does come pre-installed with a squonk pin, but I am going to change that for the the normal pin. I was missing just right there. They don't recommend you use these as squonkers. I don't know why, but you know, they reckon they are better as drippers. So if I zoom it back out, we'll see what else is in this box. Again, this packaging is very tight. What you have is your destruction manual, which just tells you how to basically do everything. You have your spares bag here. There's loads of stuff in with it, mate. I'll give them the dues. You've got spare springs for that centerpiece. You've got your normal 510 pin, which I will put in. You've got a couple of spare screws, a couple of few O-rings. In this one, you have your mesh strips, which these are A1 Canthal, rated for 45 to 65 watts. You reckon the gear ORF off mesh coils are better for these. I think because they're stainless steel, so that's worth bearing in mind when I try them. You get your tool kit, you get your Allen key. This is like your little winding stick to bend your mesh over, and the screwdriver. And here you get one massive lump of shoelace type cotton. And you also get a single coil, because obviously I think it's also a single coil RDA. And I do like this, you know, it's telling you what it is, 28, 38, you know, N80, sorry, 3mm, 0.33 ohms, so that's good. It's a frame staple clapping. So yeah, it's all good. Everything's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to use everything here that's in the box. I put a build on it. Now this spring, I was just wondering if you could maybe stretch it out or not, but I'm not going to do it on there. But first things first, you know, we'll change this bloody pin, because I ain't going to skunk it, if you know what I mean. So we'll get everything out of this bag here. You just bear with me. Get hold of this Allen key. Whip this fella out. Pretty tight there, just broke loose there now. Again, just take that out. I don't like squonking the squonk pins, to be honest with you. I'd like to have seen these bags resealable, but they're not. You've just got to tear them open. It would be nice if you had, like, you know, a little strip on there to make them resealable. Obviously, I'm gonna get that bottom piece out, put him in. You can see the bags could have been resealable, but never mind. So we'll put this fella back in here and start it off, and just whack him back in there like that. Give him a bit of a nip. I feel it takes a bite on the thread, then you just give it a nip, and that's your normal pin in, and everything's still hunky-dory on here. Now we'll get one of these mesh coils out, if I don't rip it when I open it. Hang on a minute, just get that opened up. As you can see, I don't know if I can get a good hold on this. The mesh isn't that fine on, to be honest with you. Again, unsealed, you know, there should be a way to unseal the bags. That is your mesh. I don't know if you can actually see, I can get a zoom on that. There you go. I don't know if you can actually see that, but that's your mesh. It's not very fine, it's like a honeycomb pattern, isn't it, really, when you think about it. But, that's what we're going to use. Basically, you get your little tool, like so, put that over there, and you just bend it around like that. You get your U shape, like that. That's what you're looking for. Nice little U shape like that, right? And obviously we've got to unloosen these screws on here. It's a little bit tight. These aren't sprung. I would like to maybe seen these spring loaded, but they're not. And they just kind of roll out themselves. So, you know, just wind them out, open them up. Just drop your mesh on the top and just hold it down like that with your finger. You know, not too much pressure, just like you would do if you're going to hold a coil. I'll just zoom in a bit there for you. There you go, just a bit of pressure there, so if you're just going to hold a coil. I mean, I've got the flat ends on there. And again, just give it a little nip to get a hold of it. Give it a little nip on that side to get a hold of it. Dead easy to install these, like, I must admit. Finally, just give it a final nip. And there, people, is basically it. All there is to it. Now, we'll find a mod to put it on, if you bear with me 1 second. I'll stick it on me, I've got my Legend handy. If you bear with us, I'll just take the other tank off. And just put this coil onto the Legend here. Pardon me. Whack that on there. Turn down the wattage way down. It's coming out as a point. What that coil say was going to be, them ranges. 0.18. This is picking up those at 0.16. Where the hell am I going with this power? Right, 5. We're going to about 10 watts, so we can get a glow in a bit. There you go. Just pulse it nicely. Make sure it just glows in nicely, like so. You know, you can obviously put this fella under here just to make sure it's all nice and round. There you go, it's just glowed in. That's just superb, that. It's just glowing in just nicely. You know, I mean, I don't think you have to glow them in, but I think it's best to glow them in, just get rid of the crap off them. And that is basically that bit. Now, wicking. Again, we'll whip this bag open and we're going to put this wick in. And before I do, you bear with us, I haven't got any gear ready again, so 1 moment. Right, sorry about that. I forgot to bring me bag of bloody stuff, didn't I? All I need really is my scissors, you know, so if you bear with us 1 moment, I'll dump that, get them. Right, here we go. So basically I think you've got to press the spring down as you feed that in there. And it's kind of just, whoop, that's kind of fell off, but you're supposed to pull that off when you've done it, but you just shuffle it through. I think you just pull it through so it's nice and snug, and then just back and forwards a bit. Now there is a fucking damn lot of cotton in here, like, I mean, God, what I've seen is the best way is to cut it just past the deck, because they don't need to be massively long, because, you know what I mean, them scissors are struggling, you know, something like that and that. God, Bennett. You can trim this lot down a bit as well. I mean, that's a lot of cotton, that. I would reckon you would need to probably thin it out a bit as well, like, definitely. You know, it needs thinning out that. Give it a bit of a thin out. Again, this side, thin it out. Get it fluffed up as well. Thin it out. Fluff it up again, thin it out, and basically you want to be like trimming bits off this, like, I'm just going to take that lot off the top, that side, that bit off the top, on that side. Apparently you can cut them at an angle if you wish, you know, just trim it down a bit, get all the crap off. Basically what you're looking at is just fluffing it up, and just start tucking it from the bottom into your deck. Like so. Just get what you can in, and you know, you can just trim a bit off if you want, because if it's a bit too So it's going to soak up the juice. That seems to be going in alright at the moment, so I'll tidy that up a bit. There you go. Plenty on there. That's not too bad. Again, I'm going to fluff it up a bit just to have plenty of air in it, so it's, you know, somewhere the juice to go up. And just start tucking it in. After ram it down, just tuck it in. Like I say, you can probably trim it up as you go. That doesn't seem too bad. That seems to have dropped in quite. You do need quite a bit. Like I say, don't cram it in. I mean, I think I could probably trim a little bit off there. That's getting a bit too tight for my liking. Again, it's just like giving a bit of a haircut, really, so it's nicely levelled up and trimmed off, and you know, just get that nicely tucked in. And just fill up that well, lovely, and hopefully that should be it. You're looking for something like that. Probably took a little bit much off there, but like, probably the first time I've done this. And then that, folks, is something, probably something like what you're looking at there. I mean, you could probably just snip that edge off there and just tidy it up a bit. I see, I think you've got to be a bit of a barber, you know what I mean, to get this to get this stuff sorted out. So grab some juice. I mean, you've really got to soak this thing, like, I mean, absolutely soak it. So start soaking this up. Let's put a bit on there now just to get started. Then your probably best bet is to put the barrel on and just absolutely drown this. A little tip for this: if you fire it and you see anything glowing, don't take a drag, because you will get a dry hit. This is the problem with these things, the dry hit madness, if you if you don't wick it correctly. Here's some little locating slots in the lid here, so you can just locate into there. So I'm just going to put this fella on for now. Dry bloody O-rings again, isn't it? Bear with us, I'll just drop him in. There you go, that's him dropped in there. That's him dropped in there now. Sorry about that, I went off camera. By the way, for any information, I'm using the butter vapes, cherry cake, Dodgers again. Right into that stuff at the moment. But yeah, just absolutely drench this thing. Let it do that, it'll soak itself down. Then obviously put your cap on to where you want it. And that, my friends, is ready to go. So what I'll do, go back up top, we'll have a vape on it, and I'll tell you what I think. So in the meantime, I got tidied up here, and I'll see you up top. See you in a bit. Bye. Right, folks, we're back up top looking at this fella. I've got it on top of the Aegis Legend. It's the newest thing I had in mind. I am vaping on my, my new favourite now. It's butter vapes. Cherry cake Dodgers. Very, very nice, I might say. I mean, you see, I'm sort of moving away from my custards now. I'll just give this a couple of more drips, because one of the things with these is you've got to make sure you've got plenty of juice on them. But here we are with it. I've got one with the open cap, top cap, barrel, whatever you want to call it. Normally it comes with a metal one. You can get various colours, blues, blacks, all that stuff. But a lot of people, I mean, this has been out now, what, 7-8 months? A lot of people who've dealt with it reckon these are the better cap. Basically the shape of it, and obviously I think it's for the fact you can kind of generally see what's going on in it, so you can kind of like avoid getting the dry hits, because when you wick one of these and that wick is not sitting flush with that mesh, oh boy, you're in dry hit hell. And dry hit off one of these is searingly hot. I don't care if you vape at 300 watts, you'll be coughing your bowels off on this. You'll be on your hands and knees. Dry hit off one of these is ooh, no. Fortunately, I haven't experienced it. But me general thoughts on it, I mean, it's pretty good. The flavour's decent. Piece of cake to build on. I've had a coil in it, single coil. I don't think you'll get a dual in this, or if you did, it's really tight. But generally, I think it's a single coil atty. If you coil it, the mesh does give better flavour. Yeah, it stands to reason. It's much better with the mesh in. The only downside is that clamp underneath. Well, that little white clamp underneath that pushes the mesh, the mesh, the cotton up flush with the mesh. That's a little slack. I was thinking, I mean, I didn't do it on camera, but I was thinking maybe if you want, maybe try and stretch the spring a bit, or maybe put 2 in or something like that, just to give it a bit more tension. So you know it's shoving that cotton up against the mesh coil. But bar that, there's really nothing much, you know, you can go with. I mean, the airflow, I mean, you see, you can't, that's the only thing with this Ultimate caps, that's probably another con. You can't really see what you're doing with the airflow much. I mean, I've got the airflow, it's a stepped airflow, where your first like dial round closes off them top airflow. I don't know if you can actually see it. I mean, it's because we're older, you know, you can't. But I've got that top row of airflows closed off. Then after that, if you keep turning, it closes them all in off the side. I personally prefer it like that. The top air holes closed off. It just gives a better vape. It gives better flavour. Like I say, this coil is rated, well, I say 45 to 65 watts, it's a Camphor. I've got it coming in, it's a 0.18, it's coming in 0.16 on this, but nah, this isn't exactly the best accurate thing, but you know, that's still good. I've got it set at 60 watts, and it's absolutely... loads of cloud, loads of flavour. I think it's like, I wouldn't take a really long pull on this, like, because if you dry the cotton out halfway through that pull, ooh. I mean, I've looked, there's a little bit of brown in the middle of the cotton, but that would be expected because that's exactly where all the heat is. But yeah, with this one, I don't know if it's because it's got this Ultimate tip on, or top cap, there wasn't a spare here 10. Now, I'm just wondering if that's the way it comes with this one on, and you get your spare with if you have the metal top cap on. So I don't know how that one works, but that's how I end up with this. But yeah, all in all, I was expecting to be pretty muted in where the airflow comes there, you know, kind of like hits the coil and comes up. It doesn't like a normal coil go underneath or anything like that. So I was a bit dubious when it comes to flavour and stuff, but it hasn't disappointed really. The flavour's there. It's nice, you know, it's a low wattage. It's even, you know, that's 60 watts and that's spot on. It's still cold, you know, but I've heard that, is it the ORFR or something? They do a mesh coil, and a lot of people have been using them in this, saying it's a better coil or a better mesh. I think because the fact it could be stainless steel. These are Camphor, and I think them ones have got a mesh coil in. So I will be getting some of them and giving them a try eventually, but generally, you know, there's nothing much else you can say about it, you know, it does what it says on the tin type of thing, and I'm quite pleasantly surprised by it, you know. I mean, you did hear all the horror stories of the older mesh coils, dry hit hell, you see you on your knees hacking your lungs up and all this stuff. But I think as long as you keep this well saturated, you shouldn't have any problems. One little tip is, or if you do look down and press that fire button, you see any metal there going red or glowing, you know you ain't got enough juice in it. So that means you're going to get a horrible dry hit. So that's probably just a little tip to keep out for. See anything glowing, don't pull on it, get more juice on it. But yep, I recommend it. Yeah, definitely, it's an experience of anything. If you like your mesh coils, you like building, it's definitely an experience. So yeah, go for it, you know what I mean? I am pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it would be as good as it was, but at the end of the day, there you have it. So with that being said, I've been Kenny the Vaping Heat. Stay safe, vape safe, and I shall see you very soon in the next one. See you later. Cheers. Bye.